Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. In order to know more about the current status and efforts Egypt is exerting in the field of renewable energy and the future of renewable energy here in Egypt, we're very much delighted to have with us here in the studio Engineer Amani Shenawi, a chemical engineer and energy researcher. A very good day to you, Engineer Amani. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you, Hela. Happy to be with you.
Always happy to be with you. Now, to start with, Amani, what is the current status of Egypt in terms of renewable energy globally?
As for Egypt, we're expanding. We're having, if you look in our demographic data, you'll find that we're over 103 million today, according to our numbers in Egypt. So we're expanding, we're having new cities. Those cities are smart cities. As for the smart cities, we are implementing the fourth generation cities, depending on the implementation of energy sustainability standards that are used worldwide. So from here, we're starting to use our researches that are long made since the 80s, and we were always keeping them and using our solar energy in a little, not widely, not over Egypt, because we always considered it's an expensive source of energy, but now economically it's going to have a great impact on our economic.
Excellent. Now, since you mentioned new cities, this is very important because the roadmap or the new strategies, if we can say strategies, upon which those new cities are based, consider, of course, renewable energy and green or clean energy. So this is one of the main elements. Do you think that this is one of the reasons for the success of these new cities?
As you said, Hala, our fourth generation cities, starting from the 10th of Ramadan, implemented in the 70s, passing by the 6th of October, Sheikh Zayed, until we come now to the administrative city and Alamein. As for the fourth generation cities, the first three factors that we consider in new cities are the implementation of energy sustainability standards. Number two, the waste recycle. Number three, that we consider it a green city. And there are other factors, but those three factors concern the environment. Green city means that what is the share of every one of us from the green areas. An example, in Alamein, every citizen will have a share of 15 square meters of green area, which is a very good figure. Yes. So implementing the fourth generation cities and having to implement the energy sustainability standards take us to producing clean energy. If we talk about clean energy in Egypt, our source of energy is the sun. So as you said in the report, we have a sunshine of 9 to 11 hours per day. This could be used to develop our energy and for use and exporting energy too.
Yes. If we're talking about renewables, Engineer Amani, we're talking about solar energy and wind energy, and we have both. And even the windmills that we can see here on air, if you're going to Zafarana, you would see them along the way. And they are present all over the country in strategic places where there is wind or wind speed, if we may say, that are suitable for producing or generating this type of energy. So what about solar energy? Now, I have been told that it is expensive in the beginning to install the cells.
Yes, true.
But then it saves a lot of money. So tell us more about it.
When you use electricity in the way we're using it now, using fossil fuels, you're using maybe you're not implementing expensive instruments in the beginning,
Yes.
but you're paying a lot for the fossil fuels, and it's getting. It's not easy to get fossil fuels, especially after years. And of course, as for energy, we have to use clean energy because of the environment. We already have a lot of pollution due to fossil fuels use. So if Egypt is trying to move to clean energy, 42% is our target
Yes.
of clean energy in the year 2035. We have to pay at the beginning. We have to invest at the beginning in the solar cells. After that, we're going to get cheap energy that is going to be exported, and we get money. We will get our money back.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing now.
Yes.
We're exporting our excess energy because we have 11,000 megawatt of reserve energy. So we can export the rest, and we're getting money, our money back.
Okay. In this regard also, so it's not only investing in the energy, but also attracting investments in this regard. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry is currently in Luxembourg, and he discussed with European officials that Egypt now has huge projects in clean energy or renewable energy, and it can actually attract investments, foreign investments in this field. How do you see that?
Foreign investments are important at that stage because we are the pivotal country of between Africa and Europe. Europe needs energy. Africa has solar opportunities and can produce a lot of energy. Egypt has the technologies, and we are the gate of exporting the energy to Europe, especially with our new cities as Alamein. Alamein is considered to be a gate to Africa. So we're having a lot of investments, we're attracting a lot of investments regarding the solar energy, and this will be a great step for economic development in Egypt. So investing in solar energy is going to attract a lot of investors from outside Egypt.
Well, before we went on air, Amani, you told me that some countries, including India, for example, they are like giving sessions or programs or training for women on how to assemble the parts of the cells, or how to assemble the cells and actually produce energy and sell it for illiterate women.
True.
And this could be a very good experience that we can draw from other countries, including India, and it could be actually applied in villages here across Egypt, where women can depend on other things in addition to, of course, handmade crafts and other things, that they can be trained on how to assemble the cells, produce energy and sell it. How do you see that?
Thank you, Hala, for drawing attention to this topic.
It's an important experience.
Yes, it's really, this experience inspires me a lot, because when you talk of illiterate women, you always talk about sewing, about making some accessories, but for a illiterate woman to work in energy, this will be very nice for them and for the country, very beneficial for the country. In India, there's a university that are having this practice. They help illiterate women to assemble solar cells. It has many benefits, as you can see. You find jobs for illiterate women, especially for earning their bread. They produce energy that lights rural areas and villages, and they sell the energy as well. the excess energy. They sell it. So it is economically a very inspiring best practice that I read about, and I saw examples that benefited from this experience.
This is a very important experience. I think we should try to learn from it. Now, let's talk more about the positive aspects of using clean energy.
Using clean energy, we have to tell that through the past years and since the Industrial Revolution, we ruined our atmosphere. Men everywhere ruined the atmosphere using fossil fuels. We have a lot of, we have a big percentage of carbon all over. We are the reason of climate change. So switching to clean energy might save our planet. And we reduce the pollution, but it needs a lot of time. If you can see that for reducing 1% of the carbon dioxide that we ruined our planet with, it takes years, a lot of years. So switching to solar energy is economic. And for sure it helps to improve the environment and save our planet.
Okay.
Taking over in Egypt is a must, as we have the resources. We have
and
a lot
in
of
the
sun.
same context, Egypt is hosting COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh in November, inshallah, and a lot of preparations are underway for that. So you as a researcher, what kind of topics that you would like to see coming out of such an important event taking place here in Egypt, since we're talking about climate change and using renewable energy and green energy and so on?
I'd like to, I'm very happy that this is taking place in my country. It's a big success and source of pride. I'd like to go for a topic that maybe we didn't talk about, the biodegradable materials that we might use. I wish to see Egypt free of plastics, especially the water bottles. We have to start thinking of replacing those, especially that in 2030 strategic plan, we have to go for environmental friendly materials used all over. So in addition to the renewable energy, if we go for having those materials, environmental friendly materials, we're going to attract every good thing for Egypt. Tourists, everyone is now looking for places which are having environmental standards, high environmental standards, and it's our chance to make this through our new cities.
So it reflects on tourism as well.
Yes, of course. There is environmental standards for tourists they're looking for. It's not a matter that they won't come. They will come to Egypt anyway. But if we have our environmental standards as high as they should be, we are going to attract tourists, attract industries, have more women working in energy. If we use the Indian experience, yes, it's a very good practice, very inspiring. And of course, using our clean energy is economically a big success this year.
I'd like also to shed some light on the projects of students in Egyptian universities and how they try to aim to reach that level that we're talking about through certain graduation projects that could turn into actually startups later, just finding the proper investments in it. How do you see that?
As a graduate of the Faculty of Engineering, Alexandria University, I can tell that we have a lot of research since I was graduated. I was graduated in the 80s. So there were really a lot of research and solar panels that we can see now applied. So if we can gather our research from the universities all over Egypt, you will find a lot of surprises. Because researchers leave those papers, maybe in chemical engineering, they were also published in the chemical abstract that gathers records since the 80s. So I wish we can gather all the researchers and have and make use of them.
Definitely. I'd like to thank you very much for being with us today. It has been very informative interview. Thank you very much, Amani, for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us in this edition of Women's World. I'm Hel Hamilawi signing off for now.